First pull, we're going to pull the entire first pull into the next room. So we are pulling the first mineral labor guys. The smash down guy.
It is too far away.
And this pull here in the next room. Careful not to bring them into the Wild Wallop. Don't forget that the Wild Wallop knocks all of the enemies back. Ideally, you put this rank Overseer on the outside of your party, on the outside of your pole, so that he knocks all the guys either into the pillar or into the wall. You want to try not to knock all of the enemies into the other poles. So ideally, oh, or you could just do that. Druid put down a grip thing, so when they all got knocked back, the Druid just pulled them all back in. Make sure you're interrupting Molt Frenzy. Forgot about the guys who fell out of the sky.
A willing sacrifice has been prepared.
Again, you always want to make sure that you are pulling them towards... Watch that rock throw guy. The rock throw guy hurts the party a lot. You want to use CCs or interrupts on the rock throw. And you want to make sure you are interrupting the Wicker Light Bolt. So I actually can't get the rank Overseer on the outside. I think I got him close to the outside. Okay, I just missed one. Pulling the rank Overseer back. The best way to put him on the outside, I think, is to walk him on the outside of the mobs. Then walk back to the other side of the rank Overseer, and the mobs will follow really close to you. They'll all try to follow you right to the correct side. Again, make sure you're interrupting the Wicker Light Bolt. Generally, things that say bolt in World of Warcraft are going to do direct damage to one person. So if it says
I need to get closer.
a fire bolt, flame bolt, wicker bolt, if it ends with bolt, it's going to do direct damage to one random player in the party. Okay. Wild Wallop, make sure you're stepping out of the Wild Wallop circle.
A sacrifice has been prepared.
39% on the ad. Willing sacrifice has been prepared. We gotta focus down the Apex. I've actually seen a lot of parties discard the Apex this week. I don't believe that's the right answer. I believe you should focus the Apex. Because remember, if the Apex goes off, if you don't focus that Apex down, it actually puts a damage reduction on the enemies. If you do focus that Apex down, then your party gets a buff. And you definitely want the buff. Also, I forgot to check the healer's mana, but the healer has 72%. He should be okay. I usually try to let healers get to 80%, but he's close. Alright, to the minecart. Don't forget, you do not want to get hit by the minecars, but you also don't want to tank the old wax spear away from the minecars. Because the minecars are actually going to run over the ads. So, you want to try and get the minecars to run over the ads so that you don't have an overwhelming amount of ads. You can kill the ads 4 ways. 1, you could target them and kill them, but that is a lot of damage that you're wasting on the ads. 2 is you can get them all run over. If they get run over, they die. 3 is the boss's charge actually charges over the ads. So, if the boss is charging, he can charge over all of the ads and just get rid of them all for you. And the 4th way you can get rid of the ads is the rocks that fall from the ceiling. These rocks that fall from the ceiling also kill the ads. So when you see the circle, if you just kite the ads around the circles, then these circles will get rid of the ads for you. I think it's better to let the circles or the minecars get rid of the ads so that the boss doesn't run super far away, he can just run into a close pillar. And I'm running the wrong way. Speaking of going the wrong way. Priests are the best sometimes.
Old Wakespirit's been here forever. Didn't trust nobody.
Priests and druids. Okay, I like the way monks push the character along actually too.
Quick, faster.
So priests have this ability where they can grab you and pull you to them. I've actually seen some really skilled priests that can pull people off the edge with it, but generally it helps your party a lot just to pull people along or pull them out of the way of stuff.
A willing sacrifice has
One time
been
I was fighting
prepared.
with a priest. I was doing PvP up on the top of a tower in Valdrakken, and the priest mind controlled me and walked me off the tower. That was kind of brilliant. So I flew back up there and I challenged him again and I died the same way. So he was just really good at what he did. Careful with the blast. Being stunned. Don't forget to get the interrupts on the kobolds. I need to get closer. Alright, in this room, I should have saved my abomination limbs, but I did not. So in this room, there are a lot of fire ads. I recommend you run through the first couple of fire ads, pull them to the mini boss here in the center, and then as a Death Knight, you can walk through the mini boss and pull the other ads. I'm not entirely sure how other tanks gather them, but generally after they're all pulled, as long as they're getting interrupted, they will eventually all meet in the center.
I need to get closer.
Also, I epically ate all the fire. I think that guy did too. My health pool just... And I had Purgatory. Let's see how that guy died, because that's probably how I would have died.
My emissary
Yes.
brings you
Yeah, Surging Flame. Him and I died to the same thing. Just trying to get a res off. Nope, he's interrupted by the Aphix. Dang Aphix.
I cannot attack that.
Wait, now we can res. Alright, pulling that boss.
My fire hungers.
I just realized our priest is a gnome.
Feed it.
I have a warrior gnome. It's hilarious when the warrior gnome's jumping around because he's really small. Wicker barrage. Use the wicker light barrage to light candles. You want to light the candles so in the next phase of darkness you have some areas that are still light. Next is going to be Extinguishing Gust. You want to use the Extinguishing Gust to blow out 2 or 3 candles so that your party has somewhere to stand. During the next phase, only the spots that were not blown out from the candles are going to light on fire. You want to make sure that you are in front of a candle that was recently blown out by your party. As soon as this phase goes away, go into the fire areas to avoid the next cast. The next cast is going to be dark, burnt, singed areas, and you want to make sure you are not in these singed areas. Next, the boss is going to do an AoE damage, and this AoE damage is going to blow out all of the candles, so that you can start the phases over again. The boss is then going to cast circles again with the wicker light barrage. You want to take your red arrows over to the candles and light candles. You can actually light all of the candles, but you don't want to light all of the candles. You just want to light 2 or 3 candles, because you only need 2 or 3 candles for this phase. Extinguishing Gust. Now you want to blow out 2 or 3 candles. It doesn't have to be the same ones you lit. We missed the Void Emissary. Now stand in front of the candles that were blown out. And the reason you want to stand in front of the candles that were blown out is because those are going to be the safe lanes, the lanes away from the fire. So that's where you want to stand. Now you want to move away from the safe lanes, because now the spots that were on fire are going to be safe, and the safe lanes are going to be dark. Then the boss just repeats itself. Blows out all the candles again, and then starts the phase over. Wicker light barrage. Again, red arrows. You want to take them to the candles. Light 2 or 3 candles. It can be more than 2 or 3. You just don't want to light every candle. Stand on the light. Next are the gusts. You want to blow out a couple of candles. Now stand in front of the candles that you've blown out.
My emissary brings you power. Take
My flame is
Now, if you follow this path, which we're going to follow this path because it's the only path to go. As you follow this wax path from the candle boss that we just killed, you're going to follow it all the way back up to the Candle King. It's kind of funny because that wax that's dripping down from the Candle King's stage is dripping into that candle and, well, it made the bad guy. Don't know how I got stunned, but luckily I'm a Death Knight, so that's alright. Make sure that you're interrupting those flame bolts. You can use CCs or interrupts on the flame bolts. You do not want all the flame bolts to go off at once because you don't know who the flame bolt's targeting, and if all the flame bolts happen to be targeting the same guy, they could one-shot him. So you want to use whatever CCs or interrupts you can to stop the flame bolts from casting.
This is it! Court of Candle King! Teach him a lesson.
I need to get closer.
Keep going into the next area. Pulling the torch snarl and... what is this other guy's name? Slit Snout. So, Torch Snarl is going to pick somebody up by the head, and Slit Snout is going to blast fire at you. You want to be careful if you get picked up by Torch Snarl not to, like, use a defensive, because the fire guy is going to throw fire at you. That's the mechanic. So you want to be careful with that, with getting picked up, and make sure that your health is topped off or relatively full before that fire guy shoots at you. Once he picks you up, you will no longer be able to attack or heal yourself, so you want to make sure whatever shields you need to put on, you put on before he picks you up. The other thing is mages and rogues can actually avoid that cast by turning invisible. I want to say hunters can feign, but I have not tested it yet, so I won't guarantee hunters can feign. I know for sure mages and rogues can both go invisible. Also, if you are a night elf. If you're a night elf, then your shadow meld works to keep Torch Snarl from picking you up. Alright, pulling the Candle King. During this boss fight, you want to stack relatively close together to keep the candles together. So right now we have 2 stacks. We have our melee stack, we have a range stack, which is fine. You just want to make sure that your party generally is stacked close together. During the Paranoid Mines needs to be interrupted every time. Use the purple circles to clear the statues. We're actually going to clear all the statues, which is awesome. Eerie molds, new molds are showing up. Paranoid Mines needs to be interrupted every time. Paranoid Mind is a fear. Darkflame Pickaxe. You want to aim the Darkflame Pickaxe at whatever the one-off figurine is. I don't have an interrupt. Purple circles. Use the purple circles to clear the wax statues. Paranoid Mines. New wax statues. I do actually think they changed the time that the wax cleared, but I don't know that for sure. Careful those purple circles, make sure you're using them to get rid of the statues. Our party's actually doing really well with getting rid of the statues. You want to make sure that you get rid of all of the statues every time.
It's too far away.
Interrupt Paranoid Mines. Use the purple circles to clear the statues.
Wax and ruin.
Eerie molds. Again, Paranoid Mines. You want to make sure you're interrupting Paranoid Mines. Dark Flame Pickaxe. Line of sight behind the statues for Dark Flame Pickaxe.
The king.
No more Candle King! We can be free!
Oh dang.
But first, the darkness.
That's fine, the mage can catch up.
Darkness cannot be time to flee. Flee to freedom. We can use Big Candle Court to escape.
I'm out of range.
Okay, be careful of those purple circles. Remember, those purple circles do a lot of damage to you. Also, be careful of the cart. The cart can sometimes get away from you. Remember that as long as there are ads inside of the cart is going to stop moving. Well, it should stop moving. This cart's not stopping, but it should. So, if you want the cart to keep moving, you have to tank the ads so that they're just outside of the cart area. Also, remember that the giant worm actually gets enraged. He gets bigger the more dead ads that are around him. So if you can move the corridor creeper off of the ads, he's actually going to deal less damage to you than he would if he stayed on the ads. So like right now, we barely have any ads, so I'm going to keep them just outside the cart. Just because we need to keep moving. Alright, now we have a decent amount of ads, so we're going to pull all the ads together. And again, you want to tank them just outside of or just on the edge of the cart, because you want all of these ads to die in a big pile. And the reason that you want all of the ads to die in a pile is so that you can move the corridor creeper off of the ads. So once the corridor creeper is moved off of the ads, he's going to get small again. And he's not going to deal the increased damage he would have if he was on top of all the ads. You just have to survive long enough to move him off of the ads. Because sometimes it's hard to do that first part where you have to survive long enough to move him off of the ads. See, so there's only one creeper here. I can't pull him out. That's alright. This is the last ad before we go to the end. I think I can use my 2-minute cooldowns here.
I don't have a target.
Alright. Good idea with the speed buff here. Cart made it to the end, so now we are grabbing our dynamite.
Quick, grab some dynamite and let's go.
Not that it's relevant, you want to grab the dynamite as quickly as possible, but if you want to sit in the front seat, you have to grab the first 2 dynamite, and if you want to stand in the back seat, then you have to grab the last 3 dynamite. So the first person who grabs the dynamite goes in the driver's seat, the second person goes in the passenger seat, the third person is the first guy on the back right, the fourth person is the guy in the very back, and the 5th person is the guy standing on the left side. Also, remember that whatever the percent you get the darkness down to before you get thrown into this next phase, the darkness is actually gonna... How did he not get stunned? I wonder if he broke out of the stun or if he did not get stunned. But the boss is going to carry over whatever percent you left him at into this fight. So if you get him down to 80%, you're going to start this fight at 80%. If you only get him down to like 98%, you'll start this fight at 98%. So sometimes the fight feels like it's taking forever. It probably is. Or if you look at it and you're like, wow, we killed that guy really fast. Well, you probably did. These corridor creepers are the same as the ones from before, but they put this dot creeping shadow on you. You want to be careful with this creeping shadow dot and make sure you don't get too many stacks. Luckily, there has been a change to the dungeon where healers can now dispel the creeping shadow dot, so you don't have to worry about it as much. But you do still have to keep an eye on it and just generally make sure that you are not getting too many stacks of the creeping shadows. Because remember, everybody's going to be taking a lot of AoE damage, so sometimes a dispel is overlooked. So you just want to make sure that you're using your... This guy's actually really good at dispels, but you want to make sure you're using defensives and watching the... Just watching that dot. Corridor creeper is almost dead. I think we need that last creeper. Nope, we don't. We're good. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5.
need a target.
Pulling the boss.
Darkness descends.
Did I pick that up? My bad. Okay, Shadow Blast. You want to make sure you take that Shadow Blast away from our candle. Shadow Blast is going to, well, it's going to clear your candle, so you don't want that to, oh boy. Hold on a second. You don't want it to extinguish your candle. Ideally, you go and grab a candle during that phase with the circle, so you just run the circle out, and on your way back, just bring a candle with you.
Brings you power.
It'll help out the party a lot.
Take it.
Drain Light, just put out our candle. You want to make sure you're interrupting the Drain Light. Remember that the boss's AoE cast it's also going to take life off of the candle. So you want to make sure that you are just aware of that and you're grabbing the next candle for after that cast finishes. The boss dies at 55%. He does not die at 0%. So if you're looking at him thinking, wow, that guy's got a lot of health. Well, he dies at 55%, so he does have a lot of health. Now be careful with these spawns. You want to make sure that you are pulling these spawns in and you are interrupting the spawns. Drain Light, again, is going to extinguish our light. $71% left on the ad. And if you're running out your purple circle, don't forget to bring back light with you, ideally. And during the boss's AoE cast phase, it's kind of weird where actually, oh, there's a candle. I was thinking we were actually out of candles on the map. I'll bring him over here to where candle refill is. Interrupt our spawn. Pull in our ringling darkness.
My
Attack
emissary
the target.
brings you power. Take it.
61%, we are short. Or he dies at 5%, so 5% left on the boss. Again, Shadow Blast. Make sure you're running Shadow Blast away from the target. Pulling the candle out of in front of the boss. Boss has 56% left.